Well, with the news coming out, I mean, it was probably well over a year ago. I don't remember. It seemed like it was middle of last year that there is going to be another BioShock. I figured I could talk about my predictions and hopes for this new BioShock. As of right now, it's just titled BioShock 4, but would not be surprised if they have a subtitle again, like they did with the last one, with BioShock Infinite. But as of right now, it's just called BioShock 4. And of course, I am a huge BioShock fan. I absolutely love the BioShock series. Absolutely love the first game. It is probably easily one of my favorite, if not my favorite games ever. BioShock 2 was okay. I mean, it's like, it probably did have the most emotional story out of all of them, but that one was kind of for me. And then I actually am a fan of BioShock Infinite. I know there's a lot of people out there, or a crowd out there that doesn't like it, but I'm on the side that likes it. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, there are a couple things in it I didn't like, but I mean, for the most part, I enjoyed it. But with the news that there is going to be a BioShock 4, I just figured, like I said, I can talk about my predictions and hopes. So we basically know little to nothing so far. All we really know so far is that it's going to be coming out probably a while. It's going to take a while for it to come out, because it's not like it's going to be coming out next year or even the year after that. It probably isn't going to come out for like 4+ years. I'm not going to lie. Because I think when they announced it, I think they said they were literally just starting to develop it, or it's just starting to work on it. So they're still in the very, very early stages. We do know that there's a little change to the crew or whatever, because I don't think they have the main director that they had for all the other games. I think it's a woman leading it now. I could be mistaken now, but I don't remember her name. And of course, the studio is different because it's still 2K, I think, but it's not Irrational Games anymore. It's Cloud Chamber Studios. So I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but I guess who knows. And it's just, I don't know. I really hope it is a good game. I mean, heck, especially if it's going to be taking this long. I hope the graphics are amazing. So one of the things we know for certain is that it most likely sounds like it is going to take place in a new location. Because there was a quote or whatever saying for like a job hiring offering to work for them that, help us build this new fantastical world and yada, yada, yada. So most likely sounds like it is going to be a new location, which I don't have a problem with that. That's absolutely fine. Because obviously if you know BioShock, you know that the setting, location is always memorable. And of course, Rapture for BioShock 1 and 2, of course, it's the more gothic, depressing, kind of setting, whereas Columbia and BioShock Infinite, that was the more like heavenly, bright type of setting. So kind of polar opposites, honestly. I mean, you could even say it was like heaven and hell or whatever, basically. And I have no idea what to expect for this new setting. One of the main things I'm hoping for is that for the time setting is that it's still in the past. Okay, my main concern is that they're going to try to jump into the future. I really don't want them to do that. One of the main reasons I love the BioShock games is because I like how it's set in the past. And you just get so invested in that timeline or whatever, right? You get so invested of being in the 60s or being in 1912 with BioShock Infinite. It's just, you get so invested in that. It's just so nice to take that trip back because you got the old school music and how people talked and things like that. I'm just worried that this one, they're going to set it in the future. I really hope they don't. I mean, it'll piss me off even more if it's set in space or something, because I'm going to be like, nope, I'm done. I'm not going to do it. It could still be the greatest game ever, but for BioShock, I just don't feel like it fits if they, go to the future, especially if it goes into space. I don't like that. I just wonder if they might even go further in the past, because, like, Jesus, I could see them going like even 1800s, but I mean, that to me, it's like, man, I feel like that'd be a lot harder to do. And I don't know. It's just, I don't think we're going to see any of the former locations. If we do, it'll probably just be like in BioShock Infinite where you're at Rapture for like 2 minutes or whatever, but I don't see that happening. I could see there maybe being Easter eggs, well, depending on when it's set, but I do not think that you're going to see Rapture or Columbia, which isn't a big deal. It's just, it's kind of nice to get those callbacks or whatever. So one of my main hopes is, like I said, that it's still set in the past. I don't really care how much is set in the past. I just don't, like I said, I don't want present day, and I don't want the future. I know there were a couple people that said that they'd want it like during like the Civil War, like back then. It's like, honestly, I could see that. I mean, because, it's like during a time of great division, it's like kind of like where we are now, but except we're not, wanting to kill each other as much yet. But, with how divided, of course, the country was back then, I could see there being some type of utopia for the people that just wanted to come together and get away from the division. And it's like, I could see there being some type of utopia for the people who don't want to even be involved with the Civil War. So I could see that being a thing. It's just then when it comes to like the weapons and the technology and things like that, because of course with the BioShock games, they're known for the technology and especially like the little power-ups like the elixirs or whatever and plasmas. Plasmids, not plasmas, plasmids. Sorry, it's been a while since I played them. It's like I almost forgot for a second. It's like I wonder how that would work for back then. And also another hope is that the character, the protagonist, I don't know. It's like, would you rather have it go back to the first BioShock, or I guess I should say the first two, where they don't talk, so they're silent protagonists, or would you rather go with BioShock Infinite's route and actually have the protagonist talk? It's just, that's tough, because it's just, I kind of did like the silent protagonist thing, but at the same time, it is kind of nice for your character to talk. So I'm kind of torn between which one I would rather have, but I'm sure they'll probably have a protagonist that talks. I would not think that they'll bring back any characters, especially if it's set even further back in time. I would highly doubt it. If it's set in the future, which, like I said, hope it's not, but if it is, then I could see them making references to past characters. Say like Andrew Ryan, for example. Oh yeah, he was a great man or whatever. He built this utopia that pretty much nobody knows about, and yada yada yada. I could see that happening. I don't know why, but I also kind of hope that there's like side missions almost. Like I don't want there to be a lot, but I think it would be kind of cool to try something new if they do kind of add, just a couple side missions. Like they don't have to be big. I mean, for God forbid, they could just be like 5-minute side missions, but I just feel like it'd be cool to kind of go off a little bit on the main story. Just, take a little break, explore the world more. Oh yeah, that's another thing. I hope it's more of an open world, because in the other games, they're somewhat open world, but it's not like you can just go wherever, whenever you want, right? You're kind of, contained to certain areas for most of the time. Well, maybe not most of the time, but certain points in the game. I would like it if it's just completely open world, right? You can just go wherever, whenever you want. But I don't know. I don't see that happening, but I really hope that it does. So it's just, I'm not certain. I, of course, cannot wait for this game because I love the BioShock series. And of course, it's like, heck, I don't even know if I'm still going to be playing video games by the time this thing comes out, because it's probably going to be 4+ years before it comes out. And, new location, most likely. I mean, because I think that was confirmed. I don't think that was some BS like Reddit thing. I'm pretty sure it was a confirmed thing that was a hiring. And so we know it's most likely going to be a new location, which is absolutely fine with me. Because as much as I love Rapture and Columbia, it's like we've already been to Rapture, I guess you could say technically 3 times, because of course you had the first 2 games, and then you had the little bit in the main story of BioShock Infinite, and then of course you had the burial at sea. So technically you've been there 3-4 times throughout the series. So it's like, yeah, we can take a break from Rapture. Columbia, we've only been there once, and I mean, I'd have no problem going there again, but I have no problem with going to a new setting. I just, like I said, my main concern is that they're going to go into the future, and an even bigger concern is that it's going to be set in space. Those are my main concerns right now, because I just feel like they're going to try to do too much. But it's like, let's try to keep it grounded. I know BioShock's not really known for being grounded, but still keep it somewhat grounded. And of course, have the narrative be great, because that's one of the main things that BioShock is known for, is having great narratives and themes. Have memorable characters, of course, be as violent as ever, and a memorable antagonist, because of course the antagonists in the games have been pretty memorable. Once again, except maybe BioShock 2, that one was still kind of but BioShock 1 you had Andrew Ryan and Fontaine, and then BioShock Infinite you had Comstock, and well, technically Comstock / Booker DeWitt. So the whole timelines thing screws with your brain. So those are my hopes. Let me know what you think of BioShock 4. What are your hopes and predictions for the game? And are you looking forward to it? And do you think it'll be just as good, if not better, than the other games? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, as always, I'd love to see you all next time.